Okay, I read somewhere and people confirmed to me that most all mayflies, when they become spinners, they actually turn mahogany. And so I'm going to do a mahogany spinner right here. But this is going to have a different twist. This is called the dolly wing spinner. Okay, so I'm going to do a fork tail again. You guys have seen this a couple times. I'm going to take 4 biots. I'm going to make a real perfect, quick, easy, simple fork tail. So just to repeat myself and for Brian here.
Please do.
Has to be tied on a bare hook. You want 4 bats sitting on top of the hook, side by side. So I'll pull that at a 45-degree angle. Pull it all the way back.
Hey Hal, you want to move your vise to your right, like about a 1/4 inch?
Perfect. There you go.
Okay. So bare hook all the way back, 1 wrap back to lock it in. See how when I go under, nothing goes loose? Because that's what the 1 wrap lock in does. That flares it. 1 more lock back to lock it in. Now I can take it between and split the tails, and 99.9% of the time you get that perfect fork tail. You don't have to touch it. No dubbing ball, no silliness, just quick and easy. Right there. Okay, now I'm going to do, I'm going to do a biot. We haven't done a biot yet, have we? I forget. Okay, biots are really cool. The most important part of a biot is this little dimple right here. See that dimple? Little dent right there? As you pull it off a stem, that dent is very important which direction that goes. When you get a biot, never cut them off a stem because you'll lose that dimple. Okay, if I want a smooth, segmented biot body, that dimple faces backwards. As I wrap, that dimple will go back. If I want a segmented body with a rib, I'll put that dimple forward. Here I want to have one that goes a smooth body, so I'm going to put that dimple going backwards. Tie in my biot. I love this color too. It's mahogany color. Just wrap that forward. Some people will put super glue epoxy underneath this body. I don't do that because I want your flies to wear out so you come back and get more from me. So it's the main reason. The other thing is, and this is true from personal experience, if you tie a bunch of flies with super glue, put them in a fly box, that glue will effervesce and actually fog up an inside of a fly box. I don't know if you've seen that before, but it's like, man, it's frustrating. Okay, so this is the dolly wing. Oh, I forgot I was going to show it to you. Right here. Okay, a regular spinner is just straight EP fibers or parapost, and it's very fragile, it's rigid, it bends back on itself, right? Okay. But here, I can stop that. I'm putting 2 little bumps behind. See those 2 bumps behind? That does some really cool stuff. Number 1, it keeps the wing from not collapsing. Number 2, that gives us a little bit more surface there to float the fly. So that little loop there with a little bit of frog fanny or floating on there will keep that more horizontal floating longer. So it's actually it's a Kelly Gallup design. And he called it a dolly wing. Is that beeping at me? Do you know why they call it dolly wing? It's named after Dolly Parton. I'll just leave it at that. But it's really, it's just, I was really awestruck.
You gotta tell who named it though.
Kelly Gallup? Yeah. I think his girlfriend named it actually, but okay, I'm going to use this just because I got it sitting here. So you want to tie that in just like a regular spinner. Figure 8 wrap that. Like that. Then you want to bring that thread to the front of the wing. Now I'm going to take a third of that wing and separate it. That's going to become the dolly. Third of the wing back, I'm going to twist it just to keep it out of the way and do the same on the other side. Something like that. If you're a beginner fly tyer, don't tie this fly. This is for if you're ready and if you can control your temper, you can tie this fly. If you can't, don't. This is a graduate school fly here. Okay, now I'm going to take that third that I brought back and I'm going to twist one side clockwise, the other side counterclockwise. That way, as they twist, as I tie them in, this one will twist out, this one will twist in, and that way the two won't twist together. And so this one's going to be clockwise. So I'm going to twist it. I'm going to bring it up over the top, get my little loop in there, tie it off behind the eye. See how easy that was? And see how that automatically flared out? Because that was clockwise. Okay, that's a little bit too big, so I'm going to grab it and bring it in just a little bit. I mean, you can leave it that way, but I like it a little bit smaller. So maybe like that. Also, let me cut the end out here. If you look at a mayfly, how many wings does a mayfly have? 4, 2 on each side. It's got a big one and then a little stumpy wing. So this actually imitates the stumpy wing also. So 3 good reasons for this. Okay, now here I'm going to wrap that counterclockwise. Whoops, is that in focus?
Yep.
I'm going to twist that counterclockwise, bring it over the top. A lot of this is blind tying. You just have to feel, because you can't see what you're doing. Okay, that gives me another loop there. Now, this loop's too small, so I'm just going to stick my needle in there, lengthen it out just a little bit. There we go. I'm going to tie that off, trim it in the front. Okay, not done yet. I'm going to put a little mahogany thorax on this guy. Once again, oblong dubbing, twist at the top to start the dubbing to lock it in. Always wrap the same direction down the thread, slide it up. Okay, I'm going to bring that behind the wing for a couple wraps. That. And take a couple wraps in front, tighten that up just a little bit. Whip finish, how many whip finishes?
7.5.
7.5 always. And never do that, never break your, so you should cut it. But okay, now I'm going to get those wings the same length, so bring them straight up. Cut them off, lay them down, give a little angle to it, because mayflies don't have square wings. Also, like I said earlier, the shorter the material, the stiffer it is. A good example of that is See how floppy that is? But if I take it really short, see how rigid that is? Same is true with these wings. So there's a little bit of rigidity by having the short wing there. And you can see, oops, catch my finger. See the dolly loop? So go home and try that.